It's so easy for us to allow the words, life is so hard, to escape our lips. And it's equally as easy for us to allow ourselves to think relationships are hard. But if we think about that orientation of our minds, it's not a Christian response. It's not how we are meant to live. It's, I believe, something that we're taught by our culture. We're taught to play the part of the victim. We're taught to look at the ways in which we are oppressed. And again, it's not the Christian response. If we look at the life of Christ, I mean, obviously, they're not going to publish in the New Testament if Jesus complained about things, But I think it's safe to say, based on his preaching, that the Christian response, and based on the way we watch how he traveled, that the Christian response is to simply live and fulfill our roles, to not think about events or routines or whatever it is that we're experiencing in our lives as neither good nor bad, neither difficult nor easy, but just that they are. So as we approach our life, if we can avoid the temptation to slip into that temptation, I'm being redundant here, to think life is hard, to come up with a new perspective, a new phrase that encapsulates what it is that we're experiencing, maybe we can have more of the glass is half full experience in our life, which is really our goal. Our goal is to be joyful. God says that we find our joy in the Lord. And what does that mean? It means that we see, I'll use another phrase from the Bible, through God's eyes, or from our Christian tradition. And when we see things through God's eyes, we don't necessarily see that they're good or that they're bad, just that they are, and that there is something good that can be worked from every situation. So to try to avoid thinking, oh, it's so bad, oh, it's so hard, would be a great positive first step for us. In particular, when it comes to relationships, our relationships are many. We have relationships that are minor and relationships that are major. And the minor relationships, it's a lot easier to practice this, and this is where we want to practice it first if we're having some difficulty practicing it in our more intense relationships, to practice that idea that when I encounter someone, that encounter is neither bad nor good, even if it involves a little bit of contention. And how can we respond to that situation in a way that reflects the joy of the Lord, that reflects the fact that in whatever environment or relationship we find ourselves, we have opportunities, whether they're opportunities to practice a virtue such as patience or courage, or to practice something like compassion or love or attentiveness. We're always faced in our relationships with opportunities. When we ground ourselves in our relationship with that part of ourselves that relates to our world in general, I'm resisting the temptation to see when we know who we are, because we may not be able to know completely who we are but we have a core, a base relationship between ourselves. Let's call it our maker. How it is that we came to be, and who are we in the grand scheme of things? What is our role in that grand scheme of things? In Christian terms, of course, we talk about our relationship with God, which is a very real and palpable thing. And even if we're on the fence about God personified, because that's what we've done in our Christian faith, we've personified that which we can barely know. We can only know through the little glimpses that we've gotten through the scriptures, through the Old Testament, and then the experience of Jesus. But to the degree that we can know our Maker, know how it is that we came to be, and what our role is in this world, in this journey, and where it is that we're trying to get to, what is the impact that we're trying to leave here, and are we preparing for something more, such as eternity? When we're grounded in that understanding of who we are, not the full understanding, but that relationship, that core relationship, we can bring that to all of our relationships in a more effective way. Because there's a core and a natural truth of who we are. We are a human being. We're a part of a species. We're a part of this global environment. We're a part of the family of God in Christian terms. When we have that understanding, we can bring that to our relationships, whether it's a parent-child relationship, or a wife-husband relationship, or a student-teacher relationship, employee-employer. Every relationship that we experience, we can bring that truth to it, because we can have a better idea and a more true understanding of our role within each one of those relationships that we play out throughout the course of our day and our week. So that truth that grounds us helps us then to see, I am here, I am in this moment, I am with this particular person, and my role is to be the best person that I can be, to be the most compassionate, the most loving, the most gentle, and in some cases guiding that person, and in other cases taking guidance, and in other cases coming to a combined idea of where we are guiding each other and guiding ourselves as a couple, a married couple, for example. And that is our goal, to have a thread of joy running through our lives that allows us to see the opposite of life is hard, but life is exciting, life is an adventure, life is taking us to places that perhaps we haven't even anticipated. And it begins with us grounding ourselves in the core natural relationship of who we are as a born human being and as a child of God. Have a blessed day.